I was told really to go to Barnard, and one of the reasons was that I would get such individual attention there, which was certainly true, not just from professors, but also from advisors and deans, and certainly Dean Denburg was really key for me. From the very beginning, I think she had such a knack, not just with me, but with all of her advisees, of making us feel like her door was always open. You always felt that it was going to be okay because Dean Denburg was there.
My name is Dorothy Urman Denburg, and I have, in one way or another, spent most of my life at Barnard. I entered as a first-year student from a large public high school in Brooklyn, and the 4 years that I spent here were immensely important to me in terms of my personal and intellectual growth. I got off the subway station and I looked, got my bearings, and walked to the gate, and I remember thinking that I didn't know a school that looked so much like a real college existed in New York City.
Dorothy Denburg has been studying and working at Barnard for over 40 years. To this day, she still continues to teach an early morning seminar.
The class that I'm teaching this semester meets at 8:45, and I bring them muffins because otherwise they arrive cranky. For all of us to sit together in the morning and have breakfast in a very early class, it seems congenial. This group also expects it because last semester we met at 8 o'clock at night, so I had to feed them then too.
Dorothy has been a listening ear for hundreds of Barnard students. Her role of advisor has taken on legendary status, and she learned these skills from her own advisor her freshman year.
Chris Royer was my advisor when I entered Barnard. From the beginning, Chris was a warm and encouraging presence to all of us. Later in my senior year, my mother, having figured out how important she was in my life, invited her home to Brooklyn to our family Passover Seder, and she came, and that was very magical. A scant year later, my mother died, and Chris, in many ways, took seriously her role as my advisor for the rest of my life.
When Dorothy graduated Barnard, she didn't go very far, taking a job in admissions. And when she left to raise her young family, it didn't take her long to return.
I had a serendipitous phone call asking if I might have some time available to help with the advising of a very large entering class, and that actually became the most important professional decision I made.
Coming back to advise at the school became Dorothy's lasting legacy. For 17 years, she served as dean of the college, where she oversaw almost every aspect of student life.
It was wonderful. I loved speaking with these young women, hearing their plans, their dreams, supporting them in moments of uncertainty, and encouraging them to explore the curriculum fully. And every once in a while, it is wonderful to have somebody say, though I don't think it's necessarily true, but to have them say that they don't think that they would have made it through Barnard without me. That makes for a satisfying career.
During her tenure, she worked with many Barnard students to make college accessible and affordable. She worked to ensure that students on financial aid would be able to participate fully in all aspects of student life.
So at the time that I enrolled at Barnard, tuition was approximately $1,600 for the year. It's a little unbelievable now, but that made it quite doable through a combination of a New York State Regents Scholarship, a 4-year scholarship from the ILGWU, of which my father was a member as a tailor, and my summer earnings. I have watched for 47 years the ways in which Barnard College transforms the lives of young women, and we should be able to do that for young women regardless of their ability or their family's ability to provide them a Barnard education. If I had the opportunity to run into my 17-year-old self, I would tell her how blessed she was to come from where she was coming, and to have the opportunity available to her, and to assure her it would all work out in the end.